exceeding expectations in the delivery of outstanding, best value legal services to businesses, organisations and private individuals. If you want to deal with a different kind of law firm, get in touch now.
Good evening from Aberdeen Sports Village. It's day 4 here of the Scottish National Age Group Championships. We've had 3 fantastic days of swimming and we're looking for another one here. I'm Duncan McKinnell and together with Jodie Laresh we'll be taking you through the action this evening. Good evening, Jodie.
Good evening. Thank you for having me on day 4.
Yep, it's been a super 3 days. We're seeing some of last night's action here. We saw there the backstroke coming in and looking at some of the freestyle as well. We had the girls 400 freestyle yesterday. You see Mount Kelly are up here from the southwest of England and they've had some pretty good performances from their swimmers. I think that might have been Georgina Dennis there, the Scot from there. Oh, look at that. That's a superb look as he comes in on the backstroke, absolutely having blitzed down the end of a boys 200 backstroke there. And we see there Warrender, who are having an absolutely fantastic time of it in these championships. They are winning the club trophy by a country mile, I think it's fair to say. Look at this, we have 50 freestyles. They were so close yesterday, and who's going to get that one? Well, did you work out who got that one? Did we work it out last night? I'm still not sure we know now who got it. Lanes 4 and 5 there, absolutely together. That's just some of the really close races here. Here we see them coming towards us. Green cap on the left-hand side, black cap in the centre. Black cap gets it. So that was the Stain swimmer, Ewan Taylor, winning that one. And here we go as well, another really exciting one from the 50 freestyles. Yeah, absolutely on the nose there in the centre lane. So we can expect to see plenty of close actions tonight. Here's what's coming up for you. Start off with 200 medley. What do you expect to see there, Jodie?
From some of the younger ones, Katie Shanahan is going in the girls 11 to 14 years age group. She's had an absolutely fantastic meet so far, so expecting to see big things from her.
Iona McLeod in the 14-year-old final, straight off an 800 this afternoon. Will that be in her legs still at this point? Or as a youngster, can you shake it off quick? Yeah,
definitely as a youngster, it's much easier to recycle. You're getting in the swim down pool, getting all that lactic acid out of your system. You don't accumulate lactic acid quite as quickly as a youngster. So yeah, back-to-back swims are much more realistic.
200 freestyle is the first boys event. 17 overs, we'll see Scott McClay going there. He's a swimmer who's been in really strong form so far this season, so we'll see what he can do. 100 butterflies should be interesting.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. Kian McInnes goes in lane number 4 for the 16 years age group. Obviously off the back of her stunning 200 metres butterfly last night. And then in the older age groups, Nikki Miller, Anna Fleming, Megan Grant in the top 3 lanes there. Anna going through from this morning in a 102.9.
Then we follow the girls with boys still on 100 butterfly. In the older age groups, we've got Tom Bealey and Scott McClay on his second trip to the pool. So we'll see in back-to-back freestyle and butterfly. So he's having a busy evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Butterfly and freestyle are probably 2 of the most transferable strokes. You often see those 2 being paired up between the swimmers. So yeah, we should be swimming good tonight.
Girls 50 backstroke follows that one. We've seen Lexi Waller with 2 Commonwealth Youth Games consideration times in the 100 and 200. Can she get the hat trick in this one with the 50?
I absolutely think that's possible. She's in 0.4 ahead at the moment on a 50 metres. That's actually a pretty sizable margin, but I'm expecting to see Lexi go even faster. She's riding on a high at the moment off the back of those other swims.
And then we finish off with 400 individual medley. Just the older 3 age groups go in that one. And you were talking before we came on air about certain Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian doing every single boys event tonight.
Yeah, absolutely he is. So he's starting off with the 200 free, then the 100 fly, finishing off with a 400 IM.
There you've got one of our Broth St Thomas swimmers. You can see absolutely in peak condition there. What a man. So I think we're ready to go with our first event. So very quickly run through the field. We've got Sophie Main in 0 for Mount Kelly, but we're looking there at one of the Warrender swimmers. I think that's possibly Herbie Sinclair. Quickly go through the field. Sophie Main, Elise McQueenie, Anya Slesser, Alicia Greenshields, Katie Shanahan, Abby Sinclair, Lucy Trotter, Iona Wilson, Scarlett Ferris, and Saskia Wade. So we're straight off into the action. Hashtag Snags 2017 if you want to join in. And off to a very good start in lane 3 is Alicia Greenshields from City of Birmingham. So we've not seen her at the top of the podium yet. She's been there or thereabouts, but you'd fancy maybe the swimmer beside her, Katie Shanahan of City of Glasgow. And she is certainly there, and I think now has just got past Alicia at the end of the butterfly, turning there 32.01. You can see the splits on the top right hand side of your screen there. So that is the split for the leading swimmer. You should see that each time the leader hits the wall. So going into the backstroke transitions, particularly I suppose in the 200 I am very, very important, Jodie.
Yeah, it's really important to be tight in and around the walls. Katie Shanahan looking really impressive on this so far. Backstroke, her forte, if you can say that. She was second in the 200 butterfly yesterday as well, so front-ending this race brilliantly today.
So she's got herself a pretty sizable lead now after the backstroke, 1:08.52. There you can see her split. So that was a 66.5 split for her backstroke. Well, it's asking an awful lot, I think, for anybody to come and challenge her from this position. We can see some of the other swimmers in the background there, of course, looking diagonally across the pool there, and you get a better view now with this one as to what's going on behind her. And it's a pretty tight tussle there in the dark cap there. That's the East Lothian swimmer Iona Wilson. She's certainly in the mix with the early leader Alicia Greenshields in lane 3 there in the white cap with that sort of heart shape diagram on the cap. But well, I think we know who's going to get this one. 1:52.34 is the time at 150 meters. Let's see who does touch second. In fact, it's down at the bottom of the screen there. Lane 0, Sophie Main from Mount Kelly. So she had a really good breaststroke there to get herself up to it. But, well, they focus on Katie Shanahan there, showing great power for a youngster. They swim as age as at the 31st of December, so a lot of these swimmers haven't had their birthday yet, and certainly that is true of Katie Shanahan. So we'll keep an eye on the record. It's just outside it for the 12-year-olds, 2:25.19, only 6/10 away from the record, so getting us off to a great start. And it is lane 0, Sophie Main, who takes second place there. So a good swim from the outside lane there, 2:34.57 for her, just ahead of Alicia Greenshields, 2:34.95. So good race to get us going, and that was impressive stuff from Katie. She must have been very disappointed what happened in the 200 fly yesterday, so that's a good recovery.
Absolutely, she'll have been hungry for the victory last night. She's made up for it this evening. She went out hard from the start, stuck to her race plan. Looking good here coming into the finish. Spotting that wall. Really impressive time, 2:25 there for a 12-year-old.
Yeah, very, very good indeed when you think of some of the IM swimmers that she's following. So we go on to the 14-year-olds now. Emma Russell goes for Hearts in lane 0. Eve Corrigan is in lane 1, representing Warren de Baths. Her teammate Katie Goodburn is in lane 2. Ellie Turner of Carnegie goes in lane 3. Iona McLeod, we were talking about her earlier, goes for Dundee City Aquatics in 4. 5, Rosie Morgan, she's having a great meet, University of Aberdeen performance team. Ellie Riley, the breaststroke specialist, goes in lane 6 for Heart of Midlothian. Morven Lister for Carnegie is in 7. Kirsty Flynn of Leatherhead is in lane 8, and Kitty Chan is in lane 9, representing City of Glasgow. So this one, I think, will be much tighter than the one we've just seen. Let's have a look and see. Iona McLeod was the fastest qualifier, 2:25.74, around about 7/10 between her, Rosie Morgan, and then just a little bit behind that, Ellie Turner in lane 3 rather. So you think they would probably be the main contenders. Good start up at the top of your screen there, Kitty Chan, City of Glasgow, but I think we are now starting to see lanes 2, 3, 4 and 5 making progress. Lane 0 as well, Emma Russell is up there, so pretty tight after the butterfly. Katie Goodburn getting that split of 31-24. She's in lane 2 there in the red cap, coming into shot there, fairly close to the bottom of the screen. You can see they're moving up now, Rosie Morgan in lane 5, so the second of the 2 yellow lanes, and she's now ahead of Iona McLeod. Be interesting to see how this one develops, because Iona will be very strong on the freestyle at the end of it, but how will she progress in the breaststroke that's coming up now? She is around half a second back. Well, in fact, less than that, a quarter of a second back at halfway. 107.30 for Rosie, 107.58 for Iona. The breaststroke specialist, Ellie Riley, you would think is too far back to be able to make it up, although she will make progress here. You can see her there in the Hearts cap in lane 6, but well, it looks like it's a two-way contest, although it is tightening. What do you think? Can any of these other ones catch the 2 in the centre lanes?
Yes, certainly Katie Goodburn looking really, really strong there on the breaststroke. She's almost in contention there with lane number 4, Iona McLeod, but still Rosie Morgan at the moment.
151.17, around a second and a bit faster than the 11 to 13. Just shows the quality of that Katie Shannon swim. But we've got a good three-way tussle here. Rosie Morgan then has had the advantage most of the way, and well, we said Iona McLeod was the strong freestyler, but she's not really making an impression. In fact, if anything, it is Ellie Riley, who did have a super breaststroke and is right in contention, certainly going to be on the podium, we'd think. But Rosie Morgan picking up another medal. She's had a fair stackful now, and that is a time of 2:23.55 for her. And it was Ellie Riley taking second there. That's probably a bit of a surprise there, certainly from where she was at halfway through that race. She was way back.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the individual medley events. You know, it really can come from anywhere. Each swimmer knows individually where their own strengths lie, and Ellie obviously paced it through the butterfly, through the backstroke, knowing that the breaststroke was her strong point, and held her own on the freestyle.
Interesting that Iona not really able to make an impression in the freestyle leg there, so maybe that 800 was still there for her.
Perhaps it's looking likely.
So we go to the 15-year-olds now. There in lane 0 from the Finns Club of Kirkcaldy, Caitlin Dodds. In lane 1, representing Mount Kelly College, is Georgina Dennis. In lane 2, representing Best, the Borders team, Erica Chopek. In lane 3, from University of Aberdeen Performance, Gaia Alcaraz. In lane 4, from Midlothian, Ailey Redpath. In lane 5, representing South Lanarkshire, is Lucy Ross. Beside her, her teammate, Alice Meldrum. In lane 7 from City of Glasgow, Serena Iguarum. In lane 8 from Warrender, Kirsty Peng. And in lane 9, representing Mulgai and Bearsden, Ellis Shields. Lucy Ross, second fastest qualifier here, but well, I think maybe is going to be the favourite. We'll see. The fastest qualifier in the green cap there, Midlothian's Ailey Redpath. So she won't like me saying that she's not the favourite, and maybe will prove me wrong. Sorry, Ailey, if you listen to this on replay. Lane 7 starting very nicely. That's Serena Iguarum. She is a butterfly specialist, so no surprise to see her out strongly. Ailey Redpath, though. And also lane 3, Gaia Alcaraz. They are 1 and 2, 30-26. There's the split at the end of the fly. It is Ailey Redpath, just has the advantage. So she is sticking in there and looking pretty good in the backstroke. She's a strong breaststroker as well, so well, maybe she is going to prove me wrong. Lucy Ross, also a very strong breaststroker. She's still in contention, but there's quite a few swimmers in contention here. Serena Guaram still not too far away in lane 7. Over in lane 9, Ellis Shields going well. Backstroke is her strongest event, but very close there at the turn there. Interesting comparison there in the turns between Hayley and Gaia. Did Gaia mess that one up?
I think in some instances it is personal preference. Obviously you have the choice now to do the flip back to breast turn where you almost do a tumble turn, or the alternative is the more traditional just touch and turn. So I mean, for these girls it's really personal preference, what they feel is quickest for them.
Certainly it looked like Hayley Redpath did get an advantage from that, and she's now in a strong position, and Lucy Ross has made some progress but not really against Hayley. She's maybe just into second place now, but it's Hayley Redpath, so I am going to have to eat my words here. It looks like 150.57 with 50 to go, so she just needs to hold on to an advantage which is about a second and a quarter, but Lucy Ross not done yet. She is pushing hard here down this final length. There's maybe still around a metre between them as they go halfway down the last length, but this one is still not finished, and coming up very strongly in lane 3 is Gaia Alcaraz as well. So the three of them then with 10 metres to go. Hayley Redpath just about hanging on to the lead, but Lucy Ross is attacking her, and it is Lucy Ross who comes through. What a storming finish. What a race that was. 2:24.99 there. Brilliant stuff. That was exciting. And well, Lucy Ross, you thought she might make the impact in the breaststroke, but it was freestyle. She came hammering in there.
She absolutely timed that to perfection, didn't she? She knew how much she had left in the tank and really hammered it home in that final 20 metres. Gaia Alcaraz as well, obviously from the University of Aberdeen Performance, coached by Hannah Miley's dad, Patrick. So we know that there's a lot of 200 IM strength and depth in their team.
Well, it's interesting there. You're not really seeing Lucy Ross in that shot, and you just see her there started coming through, and suddenly she was past the other two, and then who's going to get second? Just Gaia really just nailing that finish there. So very, very interesting, and I guess Hayley will be fairly gutted that it was only a bronze medal, because it looked like it was going to be so much more. Straight to presentation podium now, and they're picking up the bronze medal for the 11 to 13s is Alicia Greenshields from the city of Birmingham. Here is Iona McLeod, 14-year-old bronze medalist. The silver medalist up next, Sophie Main of Mount Kelly College in the 11 to 13s, and the heart swimmer Ellie Riley in the 14-year-olds. Maureen Campbell, the chair of Scottish Swimming, is making these presentations. And the gold medalist there, that's super swim from Katie Shanahan in the 11 to 13s, absolutely dominating that one. And Rosie Morgan, she had a tougher race, but in the end it was pretty clear her victory. And that is yet another victory for Rosie, yet another gold medal to put into the collection. And we also have an extra award. This is for the best performance for the 12 and unders. They get a special trophy in this one. It's called the Sharp Trophy, and that is Saskia Wade of City of Glasgow who collects that. She's actually just 11, so that is a splendid performance to pick up that trophy. Well done, Saskia. She has picked up some national age group records in the 11-year-old age group as well during this meet. So we go back to the pool now, and we go to the 16-year-olds, and in lane 0 from Perth City we have Freya Thompson. Beside her in lane 1, representing West Lothian, Emma Govan. 2 is Sarah Frizzell from Best. In lane 3, Kirsty Griffiths from City of Glasgow. In lane 4, Katie Robertson from South Ayrshire. In lane 5, Kirsten Laurie from First. In lane 6, Kirsty Stewart from the University of Aberdeen Performance Team. Morven Adams goes in lane 7 for Dundee City Aquatics. Jennifer Storm, a second University of Aberdeen swimmer, is in 8. And a second from Dundee in 9, and that is Kirsten Grant. So Katie Robertson had a terrific 200 breaststroke the other day. Here she is in 200 medley. And she picked up gold here as well. She was the fastest qualifier by exactly 2 seconds from Kirsten Laurie, so I guess she is the favourite here. She's certainly been developing her all-round skills. We've seen her showing some very strong freestyle in this meet, as well as her excellence in the breaststroke. You see she's a pretty handy butterfly swimmer, although lane 0, Freya Thompson, going very well early on, 30.64. So she has the early lead from Kirsten Laurie in second and Katie Robertson in third. Up there as well in lane 7, Morven Adams. So she's there in the pink cap of Dundee City Aquatics, but the 2 blue caps there, different teams, South Ayrshire and First, the Falkirk-based team. And it does look like Kirsten just has the edge. You see there, Morven still very much in contention. And there at the bottom of your picture, Freya Thompson and Emma Govan. So they're just a little bit back on the leaders now. Kirsten Laurie leads them through, 1:08.18. Now this is where you would expect Katie Robertson to make a real impact. That 200 breaststroke she swam was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. It's much going on in this meet. It was 2 days ago, and it was a magnificent swim, and you can see there she is now pulling away. Great technique on breaststroke. 3-4 meters up now, and remember Kirsten Laurie was leading at the halfway point, but look at the gap that has developed now. Just such a great technician on breaststroke, and goes through in 1:47.55 with 50 meters to go. Now the Commonwealth Youth Games consideration time 2:18.20, so if she could do around a 30-second split down this last length, she's going to be there or thereabouts. So I wonder if that's possible. She's certainly going to take gold by a convincing margin here. Kirsten Laurie, you can see they're still in lane 5, has second place. There's nobody really that close to her. Morven Adams trying to hold on to third, but this is a good swim, and 2:21.52, so not really having that pace that I was looking for to threaten the selectors in the Commonwealth Youth Games this time. Very, very close for third there. What a finish from Kirsty Stewart to snatch it. I think that's her second or third bronze medal of these championships. Unfortunately, there's a disqualification you can see there on your screen. Lane 2, Sarah Frizzell. But 1, 2, 3, Katie Robertson, Kirsten Laurie, and then Kirsty Stewart just nicking third from Morven Adams. Here they are coming in, and at this stage, work done, job done, I think, for Katie.
Yeah, she put such a margin between herself and the rest of the field at this point. She knew the win was hers. So good to see her back on form, as you say, storming 200 breaststroke the other night, now backing that up on the 200 IM.
Yeah, so very good, and a super sprint finish from Kirsty Stewart to grab the bronze. So the last of our 200 IM races is the 17-18s. Now we have Hannah Dryborough of University of Aberdeen Performance Team in 0, beside Ailey Smith of City of Glasgow. In lane 2, Katie McKenzie, also of City of Glasgow. Lane 3, Mari Swanson of Warrender. In lane 4, Katie Smith, also of Warrender. Lane 5 is Jessica Thompson of University of Aberdeen Performance. Lane 6, Katie Taylor from Heart of Midlothian. In 7, the first swimmer, Anya Reid. Alicia Lumsden goes in 8 for South Aberdeenshire. And in lane 9, representing our Arbroath St Thomas, is Ali Morrison. Well, we had 2 swimmers on 2:27s, 1 on 2:28 in this morning's heat. And this one, Katie Smith, the fastest qualifier. One of those 2 Warrender swimmers there in lanes 3 and 4. Katie in lane 4. Beside her, Jess Thompson. Although she is not doing so well in the fly, going well in lane 1 is Ailey Smith. Hannah Dryborough up there as well in lane 0. Who is, of course, numbered 0 to 9 for senior competitions, 29.74. They do that because often they drop into 8 lanes for finals. We are using all 10 this week, and it's just Katie Smith here who is ruling the roost at the moment in the backstroke. She's another one who's a pretty useful breaststroker, so if she is leading at halfway, then I would say that she's in a pretty good position. It's pretty close. These two swimmers at the bottom of the screen still very close to her. Hannah and Ailey. Ailey second, Hannah third, behind Katie Smith's 106.55. Now, it would be interesting to watch. She's about a second and a half faster than Katie Robertson was in the previous final going into the breaststroke. It'll be very interesting to compare them at the end of the breaststroke. Katie Smith, that is by no means shabby at breaststroke, but whether she'll be able to live with the pacing that we saw from Katie Robertson in the previous one. 147.55 she was at the end of the breaststroke, so let's just have a look. In fact, Katie's going to be there or thereabouts, I think, just slightly off it, 148.59, so about a second away. So that does give us a decent comparison, certainly looking good for Katie Smith. Now, I think this will be her first gold of these championships, so maybe she'll think that's overdue in day 4, and I don't think anybody will get anywhere close to her here. Jess Thompson is maybe the freestyle specialist here, but she's got a lot to make up in lane 5 even to make the podium, because it looks like it's lane 1 Hayley Smith and lane 3 Maury Swanson who are going to join Katie Smith, who comes in 2:22.14. So that was considerably faster, 5 seconds faster than she was in the heats, and also faster than the time she came in on, which was her time from last year, which was 2:22.89. So moved up 7/10 on her 12-month best performance. Nice stuff, and a good solid swim there, and showing good pace at the end there as she came in.
Yeah, she had a brilliant start to the race as well. She really took it out hard on that butterfly, and it's unusual to see somebody being able to finish so strong after taking the race out so hard. So great swimming, Katie.
Yep, so I think she'll be happy with that. We'll see her on the podium very shortly. It just takes them a while to get themselves organised, because we go straight to the podium for these 17, 18-year-olds, and well, they've got to find the energy to get out the pool first. So the 200 IMs, highlights from that.
Yeah, some brilliant swims from across the board, but got to be for me, Katie Robertson. Really, really stunning breaststroke swim there. Managed to put almost 3 body lengths between herself and the rest of the swimmers. And
right at the beginning, of course, Katie Shannon, very impressive, the youngster there as well. So some good 200 IMs to get us started on this evening's performances. Have your say on Twitter. What was your favourite of those 200 IMs? Let us know on #Snags2017. 200 freestyle will be up next after these things are awarded. There's, I think, the bronze medals, 3 of them there, already on the cushion. Who's that man? It's Alan Fletcher, stalwart of Scottish swimming, always an unflappable character around the pool. He's waiting for everyone to get ready. That's our president at the moment, Margaret Summer. We just got a shot of her. There's what's coming up afterwards. So a treat of butterfly. So if you are a butterfly fan, tonight is your night, with the girls and the boys both doing the 100. The swimmers now making their way up to the podium, and we see the bronze medalist. That's Ailey Redpath from Midlothian. What a race that was. That was probably the race of the night so far, and it looked so much as if she was going to get gold, but in the end, bronze. In the 16-year-olds, Kirsty Stewart, and that was a stunning performance just to nick that bronze medal, and a good race from Laurie Swanson of Warrender to get the bronze there. Pretty sure that's her first individual podium place. The silver medalist, Gaia Alcaraz, looking very pleased to get her medal from University of Aberdeen. But I don't think that is Gaia. I think that's Kirsty Simpson, wasn't it? And her teammate, Kirsten Laurie, for the 16-year-olds, and Ailey Smith for the 17-18s. Here are our gold medalists. Lucy Ross of South Lanarkshire, Katie Robertson we were just talking about, so another gold medal for her to join her breaststroke golds, and Katie Smith with that excellent all-round swim in the 17-18s. They get their photograph taken, lovely smiles all round. And we move on. You can see the boys getting themselves ready, having to wait a little while on the blocks while those presentations took place. And here we are with in lane 0 in the 11 to 13 final from Durham City, Harry Nicholson. In lane 1 from Dundee City Aquatics, Eric Davey. In lane 2, Tony Anderson of City of Glasgow. 3 is Ewan Houston from Ren 96. In lane 4, Ben Barclay of Geary. Lane 5, Cameron Travis of University of Aberdeen Performance. Ben Galloway goes in lane 6, representing Ren 96. Jake Kirkham of First is in 7. Chap McGill of Hearts in lane 8. And Sam Moore of South Ayrshire, he's in lane 9. So this one, we had 2:11 from Ben Barclay, the Geary swimmer, in the afternoon heat. The youngsters swam their heats this afternoon, the older swimmers in the morning. So what can Ben do here? Can anyone go with him? So he's in that blue cap in lane 4, Ben Barclay. Cameron Travis has had an excellent meet, so he's in lane 5. Second fastest qualifier, then it was Ewan Houston. So 2:11s, 2:13, 2:14s, the 3 fastest times. All into the pool, of course, in this 200 freestyle. It does look like Ben Barclay is opening up a good gap. So 200 freestyle, not a sprint, not a distance event. How do you swim this?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because you're switching through from anaerobic swimming to aerobic swimming towards the end of the race. So your body goes through that sort of strange transition, almost like a 400 meters in running. So everyone's going to have a different tactic on this one, different pace for them. It looks like Ben Barclay's really taking this one out at the moment. As you say, he had a great swim in the heats this morning. So he's obviously feeling strong at this event.
And he's got himself around a body length advantage coming to the halfway mark. See the clock running there, just a bit over the minute, 1:03.61, so pacing about 33.5 there. So we'll be on 2:11 maybe sort of pace, 2:11.62 his time this afternoon, so be looking to try and improve on that if he possibly can. His entry time was 2:13.80, so we did see a 2-second improvement from him in this afternoon's heats. So he'd love to just make some progression on that here. It certainly looks like he is odds on now for this gold medal. 1:38.50 for him, so that was around a 35-second third 50. The race is pretty close for second. Lane 2 is Tony Anderson. Beside him in 3, Ewan Houston and Cameron Travis in lane 5. So these 3 are pretty much stroke for stroke now. Only 2 of them will make it to the podium. So who is going to join Ben Barclay on it? Ben is certainly going to take gold. It looks like Ewan Houston is coming through for the silver, and it is him, and it is Cameron Travis who gets the bronze, and Tony Anderson is the one who misses out only by 1/10 of a second. So that was unfortunate for him, but a good solid swim, 2:11.77, so that was very similar, just 1500ths away from his time this afternoon. So good to be able to put 2:11s on back to back there after 2:13, his previous best time.
Yeah, good swimming. It's always good to drop coming in on your entry time, dropping in the heats. He'd like to have dropped again in the final there, I'm sure, but great swimming from him.
And some good solid racing there to get silver and bronze from Ewan and Cameron as well. But on to the 14-year-olds now, and that is Joseph Brownlee going for City of Glasgow in lane 0. Miles Lapsley goes in lane 1 for West Lothian. There he is. In 2, Elliot Miller of First. 3 is Zach Patterson of Ren 96. In lane 4, Spencer Bullivant from Dumfries. In lane 5, Angus Allison of Inverleith. Lane 6, Jack Munsey from Perth City. 7, Marcus Scullion from Winchester. 8 is Cameron Allison of Dumfries, and another Dumfries swimmer, 3 of them in this final. Bryce Proctor is in lane 9. This one, I think, is going to be a very interesting one. I suspect Angus Allison was leaving something in the tank when he did his 2:07 in the afternoon heats, but the fastest was Spencer Bullivant, and he will be tough to beat. 2:05.62. We had another 2:07 from Zach Patterson and a 2:08 from Chap Munsey, so all those swimmers, I think, have to be considered contenders here. And lane 5 in that dark cap is Angus Allison. Lane 2 off to a good start. Elliot Miller, didn't talk about him, but he is certainly right in the mix there at the 50. Angus gets the touch, but not by much. 28.89, 28.90 Elliot Miller, and 29.08 Spencer Bullivant. So only 2/10 between the top 3 and only 100th between the top 2 there. So let's see how this one develops. It does look like Angus has his head just in front, maybe half a metre up as we come up towards halfway. Spencer Bullivant, though, now comes alongside him. So the gap is, what, 3/10? No, in fact, less than that, 1/10, Angus and Spencer. I think it's probably going to be a race between these two now, with lane 2, Elliot Miller, and lane 3, Zach Patterson, just ahead of Jack Munsey. I don't think he's going to figure in this one now, but it's very much Spencer Bullivant of Dumfries versus Angus Allison from Inverleith in Edinburgh. Final turn, and Spencer has the advantage now, nearly half a second. So can Angus find something down this last length? He's going to have to if he wants to be on the top of the podium. Look at the two of them go here. They are very determined. They're both breathing to their left-hand side. Maybe that favours Angus because he can see exactly where Spencer is, and he has found an extra bit of pace there, and suddenly he is 1.5 meters clear. So it's going to be Angus Allison taking gold in this one. Well, that was very good down the last length, and he took it in 2:03.66. Great stuff there. Real racing, that one. Spencer Bullivant taking second, and third place Elliot Miller. Good performance from him from lane 2. So that was very interesting down the last length. Do you think it was to Angus's advantage that he was breathing and looking at Spencer?
I think it's always at your advantage if you can see what your other competitors were doing, but I think when it came to Spencer there, I think he just kicked a little bit too early. He looked like he really ramped up the leg kick at about 100 meters to go, whereas Angus was still saving a little bit, holding a bit left in the tank, and was able to just drive home down that final 50.
A very mature swim for a 14-year-old. So on to the 15s then. Tommaso Denova goes for Sterling Swim in lane 0. Ryan Robertson of City of Glasgow in lane 1. Liam McLaughlin of Warrender in 2. Greg Fairbairn of North Lanarkshire in 3. Keir Buchanan of South Lanarkshire in 4. Joe Ewing of Warrender in 5. Ethan Lindsay, University of Aberdeen Performance in 6. Daniel Parker of Warrender in 7. Oscar Smiley of South Ayrshire in 8. And Liam Eccleston of Dumfries in 9. Keir Buchanan, the fastest qualifier in this one, 2:03.18, very much a freestyle specialist, and the further the better, I think, for him. But we'll see whether 200, probably towards the bottom end of his distance range, whether he can bring this one in. Ooh, what a start from Joe Ewing. I hope that was legal. I think it probably was. I think it was just a very good start. We'll get confirmation on that. And once they get settled in, you can see maybe it is Keir Buchanan just starting to edge into the lead. The 15-year-old youth development squad member going through in 27.29. He's got a lead of half a second. Greg Fairbairn second. Those are the two you can see there in the blue and the silver. Down at the bottom of the pool you can see there Tommaso Denova going well. Looks like he's in third place at the moment, ahead of Joe Ewing of Warrender. that's the possession at halfway, with Keir Buchanan taking them through in 58.15. So pacing just over the 30 seconds, around about 31 on that one. So looking as if he'll be around the 2-minute mark here. We'll see whether he can break under the 2 minutes. He came into this meet on a 2:02.60, so if he can go 2 minutes, that would be superb stuff from him. Certainly looking good for this one now, with lane 3, Greg Fairbairn in second slot, and anyone's race for third. There's about 4 of them there in the mix there. Lane 0, lane 5, 7 and 8 as well. So let's see what Keir Buchanan can do, bringing this one home. You certainly wouldn't expect him to weaken the distance man. It is still Greg Fairbairn in second spot. Very, very close for third. Joe Ewing may just have it in lane 5, so 2:00.87 for Keir. 2:03.12 for Greg in second, and it was Joe Ewing getting third place, 2:04.63, just ahead of a brilliant swim from the outside lane from Tommaso De Nova. Very, very nearly getting himself onto the podium. And that start from Joe Ewing was fine, so just a brilliant start, and it earns him the bronze medal. 2:00.87 then. He'll be happy with that, I think. 2 seconds up on what he came into this meet on. That's good progression at that stage.
Yeah, definitely. He went out hard on that one, as you say. He's got the endurance to be able to bring it back, so he knew where he was at in the race. He knew that he was going to be able to bring it home. So great swimming.
So he'll be happy, I think, to show that speed as well in the shorter distance. Bodes well for his distance events. So we're back to the podium then, and our bronze medalist in the 11 to 13s, Cameron Travis from University of Aberdeen Performance. And in the 14-year-olds there we see the first swimmer, Elliot Miller, waiting to get his medal. And he comes up onto the podium, picks it up. Silver medalist Ewan Houston of Ren 96. It's interesting with these youngsters, of course, receive very different phases of development, physical development at that age. You see that, I think. Also see the wall paint there from the Dumfries man. That's Spencer Bullivant, very close to getting that gold there, but just pipped down that last length. So here are our champions. Ben Barclay of Geary in the 11 to 13 age group. And that very mature swim from this man, Angus Allison of Inverleith, in the 14-year-old age group. All serious stuff from these guys. Not too many smiles there. It's very much that they're all in the zone. Back to the 16-year-old final now. They're waiting patiently in lane 0 is South Lanarkshire's Jonathan Christie. In lane 1, well, this is his first swim of the night. Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian, there's lots more to come from him. Andrew McIntosh of South Lanarkshire, breaststroke specialist, goes in 2. Archie Goodburn, the great all-rounder, goes in 3 for Warrender. In 4, Scott Provan of the City of Salford. In lane 5, Fraser Agnew, University of Aberdeen Performance. In 6, we've a South Lanarkshire swimmer, Dylan Somerville. In lane 7, Maxwell Cattermole from Arbroath St Thomas, picked up silver yesterday. Here Edgar goes for first. He's had golds in backstroke. He's in 8, and in lane 9, Finlay Saunders also been on the podium. Bronze medals for him, the Hart swimmer. So Scott Provan, the fastest, only one to go under 2 minutes, 1:59.99. And Archie Goodburn must be a threat to him, you would think. There he is. City of Salford man, wearing that Lancashire cap, because Lancashire, such a great hotbed of English swimming. They just win the intercounties year after year, and so many strong clubs in Lancashire. City of Salford certainly one of them. So let's see what transpires here. It does look like Archie Goodburn in lane 3 in the red cap has the best start. He's maybe a metre up on the others, very, very close behind him. About 4 or 5 swimmers all in the hunt, but Archie with those long stretching arms going through. 26.33 for him at the 15th. He's around 7/10 up. Fraser Agnew touching second, Scott Provan third, although I think that order might have been reversed now coming through that turn. Scott, you can see prominent there in that yellow cap, so can he now get in and about Archie Goodburn, who has got most of a body length of an advantage here at the halfway point. 55.31, so pacing around 29 seconds for him, so he is looking very good indeed here. Archie, member of the youth squad, he comes into this meet on a 1:55, so that will be the sort of time he'll be looking to match or even improve on him. Probably not tapered, you would think, for this meet. He'll be focusing on Sheffield, is my guess.
Yeah, so that meet nearly a month away now, so he'll definitely be focusing his efforts on that. But this is a fantastic opportunity for him to try out his race tactics, see how he's feeling at the moment, maybe make some small tweaks, minor adjustments in the coming weeks, but he's looking good at the moment.
Yeah, he looks to be on that pace for 1:55 that he's entered on. Scott Provan is pushing on. He's certainly good for silver medal. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Archie though, and third place is now Fraser Agnew's, I think. So that's going to be the 1-2-3. Archie Goodburn takes it, just eased off a little bit. 1:56.73 in the closing stages. 1:58.28 Scott Provan. 1:59.78 Fraser Agnew. 1-2-3. So I said he eased off. Was he easing off, or was it maybe just the effects of 4 days into what's been a very busy schedule for him? And when he is in full training, maybe that's just some tiredness getting into the limbs.
Yeah, I think so. There's always that kind of lull, I suppose, on day 4. Athletes really have to work hard to pick themselves back up again. It has been a long meet, 5 days. It always takes a lot out of them, but he's swimming great so far.
Yeah, no, he has done brilliantly well there, and a very solid performance. And say he eased off, he was still within a second of his lifetime best, so it's a very credible performance. One more lot of 200 freestyle. This is the 17-18-year-olds. Scott Gibson there of South Lanarkshire. He'll go in lane 0. Beside him, City of Glasgow's Duncan McKinney. In lane 2, Richard Laird of South Lanarkshire, another distance specialist. Ryan Retson off first in lane 3. Scott McClay is in lane 4, representing Perth City. Then we have 3 from the University of Aberdeen performance team. Jack Watson is the first of them in lane 5. Then we have Murray Quellant in lane 6, and Louis Huet in lane 7. Fraser Allison, that's Angus Allison's brother, going in lane 8 for Warrender. And Lawrence Campbell of City of Glasgow is in lane 9. Scott McClay, 1:57.15. Expect him to be considerably faster than that here. A really promising talent out of the Perth City team that produced Stephen Milne, of course. So, and Dixon, their head coach, knows how to produce quality freestylers. He's not got the best of starts here. Don't think you'd read too much into that at this stage. There's pretty much the whole field going through. Very, very close. Scott Gibson on the near side of the bottom, 27.37. Actually had the touch there. You can see he's certainly there or thereabouts. So in lane 3 is the first swimmer, Ryan Retson. So they are up there. Lane 5 as well. Jack Watson, one of those 3 from the University of Aberdeen, who are all pretty close to each other. Well, it doesn't look like Scott McClay is into this one. So, well, unless he does something very strange in the second half, then I think we can discount him. He's decided to save his powder for another time. Lane 3, Ryan Retson then looking to take advantage of that, and he has got the lead, although beginning to come after him is Jack Watson. Well, is Scott McClay going to come into the picture in the closing stages? We'll wait and see, but, well, it's Ryan Retson has it with 50 to go. 1:26.13 leads from Jack Watson second, Murray Quellant third. That's the position at the moment, and well, it's looking good for the first swimmer here to hold on to this one. Jack Watson probably is the only threat he's got with 15 metres to go. It is becoming a pretty big threat though. Ryan Retson trying to hold it on. I think he's just about doing it from Jack Watson. Let's see if he can hold on. Oh, just he did by 1300. Well, that got closer and closer as that last length progressed. 155.16 for Ryan, 155.29 for Jack. So in the end, just 1300ths between them, and Scott Gibson taking third in 155.81. Well, that was interesting. Ryan Retson did a 158 in the heat, so improved that to a 155. There's confirmation of the full result, and took it by a 1300ths. Ryan Retson also improving on the time he came into, 155.83, although he has gone faster than that. Did a 154 last summer, so that would have been his season's best last year. Probably entered on his season's best time from this year. And you can see there he was really being pushed, and also in lane 0. Really wasn't aware of that during the commentary, just how well that Scott Gibson was doing there on the near side. So as those swimmers clear the pool, Ryan Retson taking full advantage there of Scott McLean really deciding that he wasn't going to compete seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting tactics there, I suppose, from Scott McLean. The only thing I can think is he is competing next in the 100 metres butterfly. So there is a short turnaround. Perhaps he decided strategically to focus on that event this evening, but use this as a bit of a warm-up.
So is that more advantageous than withdrawing?
I wouldn't say so personally, hence the interesting choice of tactics. I really kind of baffled on that one. I personally, if you're going to focus on event, I think, you know, withdraw completely, give others an opportunity to swim, but who knows, something else may be going on that we're not sure about.
And of course it might have been a very late decision to do that as well after the window for withdrawing. So. Yeah,
absolutely.
So we're back to the podium once the swimmers get themselves organised. So we'll be starting with the 15-year-olds. Looks like they're just about ready to do that. So we saw just a little while what's coming up next. So it is the butterfly bonanza, the hundreds for the girls, followed by the boys. So 10 butterfly races for your enjoyment now. So the bronze medalists, Joe Ewing in the 15 age group. Lightning start, as I said there. I did wonder whether he'd gone off too early, but no, he got it absolutely right. Fraser Agnew, University of Aberdeen performance in the 16-year-olds. And what a great swim from the outside lane from Scott Gibson there in the 17-18s. Silver medalists in the 15 age group. A very good swim from Greg Fairbairn, North Lanarkshire. Scott Proban, City of Salford swimmer. Scott, part of the youth development squad from Salford. And in the 17-18s, Jack Watson. Well, what a last length he had. Very, very nearly got himself into the lead. Just not quite. Keir Buchanan then, really good swim from him. Taking the 15-year-olds in a time 2:00.87. Archie Goodburn picking up the 16s. Another great swim from Archie, 156.73. And Ryan Retson. I think this is, I'm not sure if I can't remember whether that's his first gold or not, but it was a good solid performance from him, 155.16. They'll be all off to the swim down pool, I would think, depending on what they've still got to come. 100 butterflies, we go back to the girls and go back down to the youngsters, the 11 to 13s here. And we've got the Highland Swim team member Katie Hay going in 0. From Monifeith in lane 1 is Sienna Guild. In lane 2, representing Warrender, is Natalie Jones. In lane 3, representing Perth City, Catherine Bailey. In lane 4, from University of Aberdeen Performance, is Anya Slesser. In lane 5, Lucy Grieve of South Ayrshire. In lane 6, Lauren Chalmers of Ren 96. In lane 7, Alicia Greenshields from City of Birmingham. In lane 8, Iona Wilson from East Lothian. And in lane 9, Jess Procas from Carlisle Aquatics. So in these swimmers, fastest qualifier by a reasonable margin, just a bit over a second, was Anja Slesser. So I think probably you'd fancy her as the favourite. Of course, had that dramatic 200 fly last night, so she'll be looking to double up with the 100 tonight. Good start beside her from Lucy Grieve. So these two, Aberdeen versus South Ayrshire. Northeast versus Southwest here. And the two of them, stroke for stroke, down the pool, and then 6 or 7 swimmers in a line behind them. But it does look like Anja now just extending her lead into the wall there. 30-39 for her, up by about 7/10 now, and picked up maybe a little bit more in the turn. So coming down, but Lucy Grieve is keeping fairly close to her here. In fact, very close to her now. She's not out of this one little bit. She is within half a metre, and as they come up to the 15-metre markers, there is a race on, because Lucy Grieve is right beside Anja Slesser here. Can she pinch this one? Well, what a second length from Lucy Grieve. I think she's going to get it. She does. 1:04.28 against Anja Slesser's 1:04.45. These two way ahead of the others, and it's Catherine Bailey taking third, 1:09.86. Well, I didn't see that coming when they turned.
No, absolutely not. She looked so strong in that final 25. She really hung on there, managed to come through just and get it on the touch. Shows again the importance of spotting the finish.
So here they see them coming in, the two of them right there, and well, from that angle it was very hard to see who got the touch, but from where we're sitting up fairly high above the action, it was quite clearly Lucy Grieve that got it, and by 1700s, good racing. On to the 14-year-olds. Let's see if they can give us something as exciting as that. Adele McDade of Inverleith goes in 0. Emma Russell for Heart of Midlothian in 1. Lane 2 is Parmise Vasey from City of Glasgow. In lane 3, her twin sister, Puria Vasey, also obviously from City of Glasgow. Rosie Morgan, looking for a second gold of the evening, goes in lane 4 for University of Aberdeen Performance. Eve Corrigan in lane 5 from Warrender. 6 is Rachel Grant from Ren 96. In lane 7, Iona Morley from Winchester. In lane 8, Olivia Damasio of Sterling Swim. And lane 9, Annie O'Donnell from City of Glasgow. So Rosie Morgan looking for a second gold medal after the 200 IM. She'll have had, what, 15-20 minutes to recover from that one. Can she do that back-to-back?
Definitely, yep. She will have got straight in swim down. Probably has only just got out, making sure she's making the most of that active recovery.
So 1:06.05 was her time in the heats. 1:03.89 is the time she was entered on. Time she did at the British Summer Championships last year. So let's see whether she can get herself close to that. We wouldn't expect her to. Well, maybe she could match it. Let's see. Let's not make predictions about that. Going nicely in lane 1 is Emma Russell. She's in that group challenging behind Rosie, who leads them through in 30.91. Second was Emma Russell. Third, Puria Vasey, just ahead of her sister by 3/10. But, well, we asked the question, could Rosie Morgan do it? I think she's giving us the answer here. Well, to be fair, Jodie already did, but this is just confirmation. This is an emphatic performance from her. The question is who's going to join her on the podium. Maybe Puria Vasey is a favourite to do that. Rosie, what a great swim from her. So it was second place, Eve Corrigan in fact, and Rachel Grant getting third. Very, very close, just 300ths there And that was just missing out for Ria Vasey, but Rosie Morgan 104.93 then, so over a second faster than she did, and well, just a second away from her lifetime best. So in a busy program, I guess she'd settle for that.
Yeah, really impressive, that swim from her. Although we were saying beforehand it is more than possible, it's nonetheless a very difficult feat. So really, really impressed. Great swimming from her.
So close there, coming in for second, third and fourth there. As we see our 15-year-olds, and in lane 0, South Lanarkshire's Yvonne Brown. In lane 1, also from South Lanarkshire, Zara Keegan. In lane 2, Kirsty Peng of Warrender. In lane 3, Gaia Alcaraz from University of Aberdeen Performance, so another one on her second swim. Ailey Redpath as well from Midlothian in 4. Serena Iguarum from City of Glasgow in 5. Alex Bonner, University of Aberdeen Performance in 6. Lucy Robertson of Heart of Midlothian in 7. Caitlin Dodds of Finns in 8. Emma Cool of South Aberdeenshire in 9. In fact, a fair number of these swimmers back in the pool after the 200 IM. Now, she was the bronze medalist in that 200 IM, the green cap, Hayley Redpath. Can she go better here? Serena Iguarum will give her a big challenge, I would think, in lane 5, and Gaia Alcaraz as well in lane 3. So let's see how this one works out. I think it could be very, very close indeed. Gaia Alcaraz is off to a good start. So is her teammate Alex Bonner in lane 6. And then in between them, Hayley and Serena, pretty much stroke for stroke with Alex Bonner. But it's Gaia Alcaraz with the clear lead at halfway, 30.14. So that's a good advantage to take in the second half. It's just about a second. It's going to need a mighty comeback now to challenge this one, because it looks like Gaia has this, although they are now maybe starting to come back her, leading the charge. Serena Iguarum with Alex Bonner right there with her. These two battling for silver at the moment. I don't think they are going to threaten Gaia. It looks like Serena Iguarum is going to take second, but Gaia Alcaraz to silver medal in the IM, goes to gold in the butterfly. 104.09. Serena Iguarum takes second, 105.79. And Alex Bonner, she'll be happy, I think, with that bronze medal. 106.60 for her. Very controlled swim there from Gaia Alcaraz. Never really looked in doubt once she got going.
No, she was certainly showing us how it's done there. She came off the back of the 200 butterfly gold yesterday, so we know that she's got the endurance. We know that she can hold on in that final 25 of the 100. Brilliant swim from her.
You see, we still have lots of butterfly to come. We've still got the 16s to 17 overs, and then the boys. 50 backstroke after that, followed by 400 individual medley. Presentations now, though. The first of our butterfly medals will be distributed. So there are our medalists. The bronze medalists for the 11 to 13s, Catherine Bailey of Perth City. And in the 14s, Rachel Grant of Ren 96. Anya Slesser there. Silver medalist in the 11 to 13s in that such a tight finish. And Eve Corrigan in the 14-year-olds. And the champions, Lucy Grieve. She looks happy about that. South Ayrshire swimmer. And Rosie Morgan, another one. So that's 2 tonight for her. What a meet she is having. Based in Dubai, swims for Hamilton Aquatics over there, and then comes back and represents University of Aberdeen in national events. So it's great to have her part of the Scottish performance programme. So on to the 16s now, and they're in lane 0, just getting that cap absolutely right. Kiva Clegg of Boston. Emma Govan of West Lothian is in lane 1. Kirsten Laurie of First in lane 2. In lane 3, Emma Harvey of Millfield School. In lane 4, Kiana McInnes, Heart of Midlothian. In lane 5, Yasmin Perry of University of Aberdeen Performance. Lane 6 is Morgan Scott from Highland Swim Team. In lane 7, Taylor Finlayson of Warrender. In lane 8, Freya Thompson from Perth City. And in lane 9, Nicola Lees from West Lothian. We talked about Kiana McInnes at the beginning of the programme. It'll be very interesting to see what sort of swim she can produce here. She has been absolutely electrifying so far this season. She did a 1:00.71 over in Indianapolis recently, part of the British team that went over there with a lot of our next generation talent. That was a new Scottish junior record. She broke the 200 butterfly Scottish junior record last night. I wonder if she could do the same here. Also, there's that little matter of the Commonwealth Youth Games consideration time, so well, all to play for here for Kiana. She leads in 28:42 at the halfway point. Second place, Yasmin Perry, and third, Emma Harvey, and they're not that far behind Kiana. We might have thought that Kiana would be further ahead than this, and they are sticking with her at this stage pretty well. They're only a metre or so behind, Yasmin Perry in particular. Emma Harvey maybe just dropping back a little bit. They are going to be the 1, 2, 3. Kiana now starting to stretch out, showing that endurance that she showed yesterday in the 200 butterfly. Check on the time, 1:00.81. Just a tenth away from her Scottish junior record, but inside the Commonwealth Youth Games consideration time. So that's her second time achieved. So brilliant stuff again from her. So, well, she looks a wee bit puffed there, but looks quite happy about it. 1:00.81, confirmation of that time. She looked a little slow down the first half, and you thought with the others so close behind her, maybe she wasn't on her peak perform, but well, she'd really just turned it on in that last 25.
Yeah, she really, really did. As you say, didn't look quite so sharp down that first 50. Perhaps that was a tactical decision. She knows that she's got the endurance to come back, so maybe that was the race plan all along.
So brilliant stuff, and well done to Kiana on her second consideration time achieved, so we're very happy with that. So we go now to the 17-18s, and that is Rebecca Mathewson you're looking at from Stirling Swim going in 0. Megan Slider of South Ayrshire is in lane 1, wearing the wall paint there. Lane 2, Hannah Dryber, University of Aberdeen Performance. In lane 3, Nikki Miller of South Lanarkshire. Lane 4, Anna Fleming of City of Glasgow. Lane 5, Megan Grant of South Aberdeenshire. 6 is Ailey Grant from Dundee City Aquatics. Jessica Damon goes in 7 from Warrender Baths. And Ola Edwards from Afford Otters is in lane 9. In fact, it looks like she's not there. No, she isn't. So just the 9 swimmers here. So it'll be very interesting to see what Nikki Miller, Anna Fleming do in this one. In fact, looking at it, yeah, we do have 9 swimmers here. Centre lanes, lanes 4 and 5 here. Anna Fleming, Megan Grant taking it out. Nikki Miller, well, pretty much with them as we come to halfway. These 3 very, very close. And in fact, it's Nikki Miller who took the touch by 900ths there, 28.91. They're around half a second back on Kiana McInnes' time from the 16-year-old final. We'll see if they wind it through though. Nikki Miller still has the edge over Anna Fleming. They are 1 and 2 with Megan Grant just a little bit back on them now, but it's going to be the medals between these 3. What's the order going to be? Nikki Miller still has the advantage over Anna Fleming, and she's looking good for it now. A late charge from Megan Grant to try and snatch the silver, but Nikki Miller, what a great meet she's having, and she comes in 1:01.82. Second place was Megan Grant, just nicking it from Anna Fleming by 600ths, 1:03.16 against 1:03.22. So Nikki Miller, well, we saw her achieve a consideration time in the 400 medley, so showing good butterfly skills there. It wasn't that far away to joining Kiana, and well, good skills there up against a pretty class field. So they get themselves out of the pool and prepare for their medal presentations. 100 butterfly for boys next. 50 backstroke will be the next girls outing. followed by the boys 400 IM. So I guess Kiana McInnes has to be the race of that sequence of butterfly.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no one else that was in contention for that one. A minute point, just absolutely fantastic swimming. We knew she was in good form from the 200. She's riding on a wave at the moment, knowing that she's already underneath a nomination time for the Commonwealth Youth Games. That's got to have given her confidence going into this, and she had nothing to lose.
No, and she, as you said when we talked about the race, you know, really pushed it in that last bit, so very controlled down that first length. I say we thought maybe she was a little slow, but I think she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, really mature swimming from Kiana. Obviously she's swum this race so many times now. She knows where her strengths lie. But yeah, we were expecting to see her perhaps going out for it, really trying to challenge for those quick 50 times. But no, she stuck to what she knows, what works for her, and came away with the goods.
Yep. So shows she knows rather better than us. And of course, her coach, Phil Potter, will be the coach that's going to those Commonwealth Youth Games. So hopefully he'll have some of his own swimmers there. So here we are with our presentations, and the 15-year-old bronze medalist, Alex Bonner from University of Aberdeen Performance, the 16-year-old bronze medalist. Yep. I didn't actually write down in my excitement, but I think that's Emma Harvey. And the bronze medalist in the 17-18s is Anna Fleming. Confirm it was Emma Harvey in the 16-year-olds. Silver medalist there, Serena Iguarum in the 15-year-olds. Yasmin Perry of University of Aberdeen Performance in the 16-year-olds. Megan Grant of South Aberdeenshire in the 17-18s. Alcaraz looks pretty happy to be picking up her second medal of the night. The gold medalist in the 15s. There is the girl that got her second nomination time. Part of Midlothian's Kiana McInnes. Brilliant swim, 1:00.81. And Nikki Miller, gold medalist in the 17-18 age group. And she looks pretty happy with her swim as well. Under butterfly we continue with as we move to the boys. And there we go in lane 0 for the youngsters. Kieran Brackenter of Aberdeen Dolphins. In lane 1, Carlisle Aquatic swimmer Jack Smith. Just really moving across to see him, are we? Where's Jack? He must be there somewhere. Still looking at Kieran just getting ready there. We'll see them there. So lane 1, Jack Smith, Bradley Fonn in the white cap there in lane 2, going for Bangor in Northern Ireland. Cameron Gordon of Dumfries is in 3. In lane 4, Harry Nicholson of Durham City. In lane 5, Cameron Travis, University of Aberdeen Performance, standing back here in the white cap. 6 is Callum Rose of Warrender in the red cap, the second of those red caps going along the field there. Elliot Sinclair of Dumfries is in 7, and 2 from Ren 96 on the far side, Ewan Houston in 8, and Ben Galloway in lane 9. We look at some of the fastest qualifiers. Harry Nicholson's had a pretty successful time of it, up from Durham, up the East Coast. Did he get the train? I wonder. He can get the train directly from Durham to Aberdeen. So I wonder if he did. 1:07.83 was his time in the heat, around 2/10 faster than Cameron Travis, another who's had a super set of swims. Cameron Gordon was third fastest in 1:09 in the afternoon heats. Lane 1 going nicely. Jack Smith, he's another, had a successful time from Carlisle, and he's very much in contention here. So is Cameron Gordon in lane 3. Who gets the touch? It's close. And it's Cameron Gordon, 31.15, who just nicks it at the halfway point. Well, the race is only just beginning as they turn for home. And lane 3, Cameron Gordon now starting to apply the pressure, but Harry Nicholson in the red cap not far away from him. Lanes 5 and 6, Cameron Travis and Callum Rose pushing hard along with lane 1, Jack Smith. And, well, they're not far away from the leaders, but it does look like it's lane 3 and lane 4 in that order. Cameron Gordon getting it 1:06.53 from Harry Nicholson second, 1:07 dead. And third place was Jack Smith from lane 1 in 1:07.26. So you don't have to be in lane 4 to take the win. Cameron Gordon's just told us that. And you don't need to be in the seeded lanes to get onto the podium. Jack Smith just told us that. There he comes in. Pretty good finish there.
Yeah, great skills from Cameron. You see just in that replay there, he put his head down all the way in the finish, didn't breathe for the last 3 strokes, and that really made the difference for him there. He started to just edge a little bit further ahead of Harry to take the win.
So on to the 14-year-olds. James Taylor, University of Aberdeen Performance, goes in 0. In lane 1, Finley Cousins of Geary. In lane 2, Jack Munsey of Perth City. In lane 3, Marcus Scullion from Winchester. In lane 4, Mark Ford of South Lanarkshire. 5 is Sean Patrick McGowan from Millfield. In 6, Fraser Kelly of North Ayrshire. Lane 7, Bryce Proctor of Dumfries. Lane 8, Douglas Kelly, Mulgine Bearsden. And in lane 9, Miles Lapsley from West Lothian. Well, Mark Ford has shown some very good butterfly skills so far this week. 1:00.82. Wouldn't he love to go under the minute here? He came into the meet on 1:01.4 to improve that to 1:00.8. So 0.6 of an improvement there. Can he get that extra 0.8 here? Well, he might not win it, of course. The others might have views about that. Sean Patrick McGowan, the second fastest qualifier in the green cap in lane 5, swimming for Millfield. He'll fancy his chances. Going very well over in lane 8 is Douglas Kelly, so he is not to be messed with in this one. Another one who has been figuring prominently in these championships so far. So they're the 3 as we come to halfway. It is Mark Ford who leads them through in 28:30. With that split, you think he's not going to be too far away from it. Second at the turn was Sean Patrick McGowan, with Douglas Kelly still in third, but maybe coming under a bit of pressure from Marcus Scullion now in lane 3. But it's Ford and McGowan. They're going to decide this one in the centre lanes, and Mark Ford still has about a metre and a half's advantage as they come into the final 5 metres. He won't be denied. Let's see on the clock what the time is. Just over the minute, but he does improve again. 1:00.27. So a great swim from him. And another gold medal. Sean Patrick McGowan takes second, 1:01.07. And third place, well, we'll just need to hold on here, because here in the venue the scoreboard has been cleared, and that's usually the sign that the judges and referees are not too happy about anything. And it's a shocker, because the one who was first home, Mark Ford, has been disqualified. Well, I wonder what he did there. I didn't see anything. Did you, Jodie?
No, I didn't. We'll have to wait to find out on that one.
So there you see him coming in. You have thought for the life of you that this was just a brilliant swim, but, well, obviously the judges thought there was something wrong with it. And as I said, we'll find out. So that means that Sean Patrick McGowan is the winner, 1:01.07, with Marcus Scullion second and Douglas Kelly third. And, well, at that stage when we saw him there, he thought he got the gold, but, well, it wasn't to be. So, well, these things come to try us, and whatever it was, well, hopefully he'll take learnings from it and move on, not let it get to him, and live to fight another day. But certainly, well, a shocker as we move to the 15-year-olds. Johan Fawcett in lane 0 for South Lanarkshire. Helensborough's Alexander Johnson is in lane 1. Stuart Brodie of South Lanarkshire in 2. Rory Young, Heart of Midlothian in 3. Fraser Wilson of Midlothian in 4. Edward Alsop goes for East Lothian in 5. Warren does Joe Ewing in 6. Andrew Arthur, Aberdeen Performance in 7. Liam Harkin of First in 8. And Mark Devlin for North Lanarkshire in 9. Fraser Wilson, another one who's had a strong meet, and particularly in butterflies. So 101.75 was his time from the heat. Perhaps a bit of a surprise, the second fastest qualifier, Edward Alsop of East Lothian. The swimmer is really coming on fast this season, pretty much from nowhere. It'll be very interesting to see what he can do, but it looks like Fraser Wilson is the one that they're all going to be chasing in the second half here. 27.84 for him. So that was about half a second faster than the split that Mark Ford put in. So you would think that this will be under the minute for Fraser Wilson, the youth development squad member from Midlothian. He comes into this meet on a 1:00.07. So and that's another one who would love to take that under the minute. There's a good old battle going on for the silver here. Edward Alsop and Joe Ewing in lanes 5 and 6, and just behind them Rory Young. But 1:00.15, another one who just saw the minute slip by. Joe Ewing just doing enough to squeeze out Edward Alsop into the silver medal for Joe, into the bronze medal for Edward. But there is our winner. You can't see there what he was thinking, as you can only see the back of his head, but thinking, well, the win, but could it have been under the minute? These things you think, well, this shouldn't really matter, but they do, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a huge benchmark in age group swimming. It's breaking the minute barrier, breaking the 30-second barrier, breaking the 2-minute barrier. They're such milestones. You just see there a really slight shake of the head from Fraser as he saw his time. He'll be devastated with that.
Yeah. A good effort, very good effort nonetheless. And what a great finish that was between second and third. Then maybe Joe Ewing just showing that better finish. But back to the podium there, and our bronze medalists, Jack Smith for the 11 to 13s and Douglas Kelly for the 14-year-olds. Here are the silver medalists. Henry Nicholson of Durham City for the 11 to 13s. Marcus Scullion for Winchester in the 14-year-olds. And our gold medalists, Cameron Gordon of Dumfries in the 11 to 13s, and Sean Patrick McGowan of Winchester. Oh, sorry, not Winchester, Millfield. Apologies about that, Sean Patrick. He takes the 14-year-old gold medal. 16s now. Maxwell Cattermole goes for our Bread St Thomas in lane 0. Mitchell Stevenson of South Lanarkshire is in 1. Jamie Booth for Warrender in lane 2. Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian in 3. Craig Greenock, North Lanarkshire in 4. Carl Barrett of Western Bartonshire in 5. Angus Nichol of City of Glasgow in 6. Finley Hart of East Lothian in 7. Jamie MacDonald goes for Warrender in 8. And Dylan Somerville for South Lanarkshire in lane 9. Well, this one you would think could be very, very close indeed. 1:00.97. Craig Greenock's the fastest qualifier. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swimmers all on 101s. So you have to feel that the win could come from just about anywhere in this pool. In this one, there is the North Lanarkshire swimmer, Craig Greenock. He is the one that did go under the 101 in this morning's heats, 1:00.97. So he'll be looking to see off the challenges from the others. Away they go. We talked about Daniel Ferguson going in every event tonight, so this is his second one in lane 3, so third fastest qualifier for these ones. He's off to a pretty decent start, and then so well, just about the whole field. I did say that the win could come from anywhere, and well, it's certainly looking like that at the moment. Lane 6 perhaps, Angus Nichol is going to turn first. He does 27.68. So just slightly faster than Fraser Wilson split from the 15-year-old. So another one, maybe he'll be looking at that minute and see if he can duck under it. Daniel Ferguson is up there in that blue cap in lane 3, and beside him, the fastest qualifier in the silver cap, Craig Greenock. So these swimmers all in the mix. Lane 7's not far away, Finley Hart as well, and just behind them Carl Barrett. Now who's going to get this one? Coming through strongly, Craig Greenock. Well, what a finish from him. 3 go under the minute, in fact. Craig Greenock 59.13. Daniel Ferguson just 11 hundredths behind him, 59.24, and Finley Hart gets the bronze, also under the minute, in 59.75. Well, you thought at halfway Craig Greenock wasn't in contention, but he showed a lot of speed down that second length.
Yeah, he really came through. You see here the final 5 meters, really pushed it, spotted that wall perfectly. Really impressed with those swimmers there. 3 of them, as you say, under the minute, and smashing through it as well.
Yeah, good stuff there. And we go to the last of our 100 butterflies. So this is the last of our 10 100 butterflies. They've been good. Louis Huet there in lane 0 from the University of Aberdeen Performance. In lane 1, Jonah Walsh of Warrender. In lane 2, Murray Quillen, a second from the University of Aberdeen Performance team. Mark Elric is in lane 3, representing first. Third from the University of Aberdeen, Tom Bealey is in lane 4. Scott McClay of Perth City in lane 5. Adam Kirkwood goes for North Ayrshire in 6. Thomas Balfour of North Lanarkshire in 7. Thomas Harkus of South Aberdeenshire in 8. And Innes McMillan, a 4th from the University of Aberdeen Performance team, goes in lane 9. So a look there at Scott McClay. Well, we saw that 200 freestyle where he took it very easy. So was it to save it for the big one in the fly? Next to him is Tom Bealey, so he will be a very big challenger to Scott McClay. In fact, he was faster than him this morning, 57.5 against 58.10. This could be a really good head-to-head, Jodie.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Bealey there, just with his head in his hand still, really focusing, keeping that composure. Always last to take his shirt off and get up onto the blocks.
He's been doing that all week. And here he is ready now. There you can see in the white cap in lane 4, 1 foot on the block. I said on the podium there. We have to wait for that. So here we go. Have we saved the best till last in these 100 butterflies? Great skills off the dive there from Tom Bealey and from Scott McClay, and these two. Well, looks like Scott, he's certainly not hanging back in this one. He is just, I think, in the lead from Tom Bealey. Going nicely, Mark Elric as well in lane 3. Let's see who gets the touch at halfway. Well, in fact, it's Tom Bealey, but only by 100. 26.54 against 26.55 McClay. Coming out of the turn, you can't really separate them. Bealey in the white cap, McClay in the red. These two just pulling away now from the battle for third, and it looks like Bealey has the advantage now. Tom Bealey is up by nearly a metre, and he has got this one. He is really pushing this one through very strongly, 55.39. That was a good solid swim from him. So excellent stuff. Came into this meet on 55.7, so again unrested to go 55.39. He'll be happy with that, you would think, so will coach Patrick Miley.
Yeah, definitely. We talked earlier about the British Championships being just a few weeks away now, so to go that time, quicker than his entry time, 55.39. You see him coming in to the finish here. This is where you really start to see the difference between the younger boys and the older ones in the age group categories. They've got much more power, much more forward momentum and musculature to kind of take them through these races. And he absolutely stormed that last 25.
Scott McClay as well came in on a 57.56, so he improved that to 56.24. So although he was second, maybe would have liked to have beaten Tom, he has to be happy with that time.
Yeah, especially as he was rested.
Yep. Although Tom didn't swim in the 200 free, so I guess he was rested too.
We'll let him off.
So they'll come out of the pool. Just to confirm that third place was Murray Quillen of University of Aberdeen. So 2 from the University of Aberdeen there, first and third. So good performance from them. And we've said, well, that we left the best till last. Certainly in terms of technical performance, I think the answer probably yes, we did.
Definitely. Notice as well on their turn at the 50-metre marker, both boys in those centre lanes were going underneath, beyond the 10-meter marker underwater, really maximising the skills on that one, and it paid off.
So beyond 10 is good, beyond 15 is not good.
Nope. Perhaps that was what happened in the earlier race of disqualification. It's quite difficult to get things wrong on the butterfly event, so either the start or the turn.
So a fairly rare appearance here of an East Lothian double on the podium there, side by side, bronze medalists. That's Edward Alsop in the 15-year-old age group, and that is Finlay Hart in the 16-year-old age group, and they're joined in the 17-18s by University of Aberdeen performance swimmer Murray Quellant. He looks quite happy with his time. I missed his time, must admit. Let's see if we can get it. It was 57.11, so I think he'll be pretty happy with that as well. 57.43. Here are the silver medalists. 57.43 the time he was entered on. The silver medalists then. Joe Ewing in the 15s. I think we have a substitute picking up Daniel Ferguson's medal in the 16s. And Scott McClay, the silver medalist in the 17-18s. There is Fraser Wilson, that very strong swim, 1:00:15 in the 15-year-olds. That great finish from Craig Greener in the 16-year-olds, and that really strong all-round swim from Tom Bealey in the 17-18s. So 100 butterfly, Kiana McInnes perhaps the star of the show in the girls, and Tom Bealey probably the star of the show for the boys. Had some great racing across all the age groups. We go to the other end of the pool now for 50 backstroke, starting with the 11 to 13-year-old girls. And we have Laura Murray going for Sterling Swim in lane 0. Natalie Jones of Warrender in lane 1, looking very chilled. Lane 2, Saskia Wade of City of Glasgow. In lane 3, Abby Sinclair of Warrender. Katie Shanahan in lane 4, looking for a second gold of the night. Lane 5, Anya Slesser, likewise, going for a University of Aberdeen performance. Abby Armstrong of Dundee City Aquatics is in lane 6. Elise McQueenie of City of Glasgow in 7. Morgan Anderson of Dundee City Aquatics in lane 8. And Jacqueline McMillan goes for Glenrothes in lane 9. So maybe a Shanahan-Slesser showdown here. 32.16 Shanahan's time this afternoon, 32.62 for Anya Slesser. They need to go 31s to threaten the age group record, 12-year-old age group record. There we see some of their University of Aberdeen coaching team. They'll be watching their girl Anya Slesser. So they're off and away. Coming out again, they have to break the water within the 15 with these youngsters. They're unlikely to go anywhere close to the 15s, and they didn't that time. It does look like lane 4, Katie Shanahan has just got the advantage, not too much in it. Abby Sinclair going well in 3, and Anya Slesser, as you'd expect, in lane 5. So these two keeping Katie Shanahan company, and in particular Anya Slesser, who is pushing hard here at the end of it. But it is Shanahan who comes in and takes it by 1100s, 31.57. Anya Slesser ran out close there, 31.68 for her, and 31.88 for Abby Sinclair. So within a quarter of a second of the 12-year-old age group record there. So that was a good swim from Katie Shanahan, and pushed very hard there by Anya Slesser. You did wonder with 10 metres to go whether there was going to be another shock in store there.
Yeah, I think Katie Shanahan had it from the start for me. I know how well she's been swimming this week, and I just feel like her confidence is at an all-time high, and she had that one in the bag.
Okay. So let's see who's going to get this one in the bag in the 14-year-olds. We have Marie Wood of Highland Swim Team in 0. Maria Cabrelli of Dundee City Aquatics in lane 1. That one is not swimming in the big blue bulge. So we got Elaine Murray of Peterhead in lane 2. Morven Lister of Carnegie is in 3. Her teammate Ellie Turner, 2 backstroke goals for her already. She goes in 4. 5 is Lucy Lucas from East Lothian. In lane 6, Marty MacDonald of University of Aberdeen Performance Team. 7, Victoria McCormack of South Ayrshire. In 8, Katie Goodburn of Warrender. And in lane 9, Rachel Dawson of Best. So we have to find her in the water. That's the East Lothian girl, Lucy Lucas. Beside her, the fastest qualifier and probably the favourite, Ellie Turner. 31.50 was her time. Let's see whether anybody can stop her from picking up a 3rd backstroke goal. Good start in lane 2 from Elaine Murray of Peterhead. So can she pull off a surprise here? Well, this one is pretty close. Morven Lister is up there. Also in lane 6, Mari MacDonald. But Ellie Turner now starting to move through. And she is going to get this one. It's going to get very, very close behind her. But Ellie Turner takes it. 2nd was Morven Lister. And it was Lucy Lucas just edging through to take 3rd by the tightest of margins. Just 100th of a second from Elaine Murray. And then another 100th to Mari MacDonald. So you were 200ths away from a bronze medal, but you only got 5th. Mari MacDonald, where's the fairness in that? So you can see here as they come in, Ellie Turner was just really showing her speed there at the end there, and from 25 metres on it wasn't in doubt.
Yeah, she'll be pleased to drop again in time there. She was 31.5 this morning, 31.1 there. Good swimming.
Yes, 31.38 her entry time done in January, so moved on from that as well. So on to the 15-year-olds. We have Sophie Newbury of South Lanarkshire in lane 0. Erica Chopek goes for Best in lane 1. In lane 2, Caitlin Dodds of Finns. In lane 3, Alice Meldrum of South Lanarkshire. In lane 4, Irene Stevenson from Staines. In lane 5, Ellis Shields of Mulgai and Bearsden. In lane 6, Lucy Ross of South Lanarkshire. 7, Rachel Gillespie of Mulgai and Bearsden. In 8, Lauren Sanderson of Lerwick. And in lane 9, Jessica McKee from Carnegie. So this one could be very, very close. Just 500 separated Irene Stevenson and Ellis Shields in the heats this morning. They go in 4 and 5. Irene in that gold cap. Ellis in the white. Here they go. Irene. Scott from Staines, goes down in the southeast of England, just outside London. And she looks to just have the edge here. Trying to pull away from Alice Meldrum and Ellis Shields. Not a lot in it here. Ellis Shields now alongside Irene Stevenson, so it's going to be between the two of them. This is about the finish now. Who's going to get it? And it is Ellis. Really just had that momentum maybe at the end there to just nick it by 600, 31.16. Irene Stevenson 31.22. Lucy Ross takes 3rd place by 300 from Alice Meldrum in 31.75, and then Rachel Gillespie also very close to the action, 31.79. So again, you just felt that Ellis had the momentum there and was positioned perfectly to nail the finish.
Yeah, that was a masterclass there in finishing. She almost did an almost upside down front crawl stroke, if you like. It was kind of a sneaky small stroke, and it really paid dividends in the end.
So we have our presentations now. So the 13-year-old medalist, bronze medalist Abby Sinclair, and in the 14s, Lucy Lucas, Warrender and East Lothian respectively. Silver medalist Anya Slesser, University of Aberdeen Performance in the 13s, and Morven Lister in the 14s. And gold medalist Katie Shanahan, her 2nd of the night. Was it 3rd of the night? I can't remember.
Ooh, let me have a look.
All right,
You keep
we'll
talking,
work
I'll
on
have a
that. Ellie Turner, though, she's certainly got her first gold of the night and her 3rd on backstroke. Winner in the 14-year-olds. On to 16s now. And there in lane 0, representing Broch, Fraserburgh, Amber Moyer. In 1, Molly Young from City of Glasgow. In lane 2, Yasmin Perry of University of Aberdeen Performance. 3 is Amy Malone from Stirling Swim. Lane 4, Lexi Waller of Heart of Midlothian. Lane 5, Emma Harvey of Millfield. In lane 6, Kayla Manson from Lerwick. In lane 7, Lauren McClay from Inverclyde. In lane 8, Sarah Fraser from University of Aberdeen Performance. And in lane 9, Emma Scully from City of Glasgow. So this, you would think, will be Lexi Waller's race. 30-20 in the heats. Has done sub 29, so we'll see what sort of form she can bring to tonight's race. This could be very fast. Emma Harvey, also a very strong backstroker, goes in lane 5 in the green cap of Millfield, and it is these two, Lexi Waller in 4 and Emma Harvey in 5, who are leading it out past the halfway markers. There's not too much between them as they come down here. Emma Harvey is giving this one a good go, and she is right up with Lexi Waller here. There is not a lot between them at all, so let's see who's going to get this one. It's going to be on the touch between them. Oh, it's Lexi, but only by 100. 29.69. Just 400ths away from getting a third consideration time, and Emma Harvey really went for it as well there. 29.70 for her. We so nearly got 2 there, and we didn't get any. That was so close.
Yeah, she really took it out from the start, Emma Harvey. She knew that she was going to have it. She was going to be up against it with Lexi. She's been swimming so well so far in this competition. Got to give it to her, Emma Harvey. Great swim. 29.7. Lexi Waller just 0.01 ahead.
Yes, so very close. Amy Malone it was there that picked up the bronze medal from Stirling Swim. So well done to her. We go to the 17-18s now. Megan Grant of South Aberdeenshire in 0. Hannah Dryborough of University of Aberdeen Performance in 1. In 2, Mari Swanson of Warrender. In lane 3, Robin Crawford from City of Glasgow. In lane 4, Caroline McIntosh from University of Aberdeen Performance. Lane 5, Caitlin Duffy of South Ayrshire. 2 Warrender swimmers, Niamh Ritchie goes in 6 and Jessica Damon in 7. Alicia Lumsden goes for South Aberdeenshire in lane 8. And Alice Alcaraz of University of Aberdeen Performance in 9. And we've seen her little sister Gaia go really well tonight. What can Alice do? Caroline McIntosh, I think, will be the favourite here. Very much a 50 backstroke specialist. Really strong sprinter at the backstroke. She went 29.81 in this morning's heats. Only swimmer to go under 30 seconds. Going into these finals. Did 29.3 a few weeks ago in Edinburgh. So we'll see what sort of performance she can put in here. She's certainly got the advantage coming out of the push-off from lane 5. Caitlin Duffy, another very strong backstroker. And they are 1 and 2 coming down the pool here in lanes 4 and 5. Looks like maybe Niamh Ritchie holding 3rd place in lane 6, but it's going to be Caroline. She's now starting to move well clear, and she is going to take this one in 29.53. So not quite matching her Edinburgh time, but that was good solid swim and progressed by 3/10 from her time this morning. Caitlin Duffy takes 2nd, just missing out and going under the 30. 30.15 for her, with Niamh Ritchie taking 3rd in 30.91. So Caroline coming in there and pushing away from the wall and turning around to see what she's got to do. So we go back to the podium. That's what's still to come. 400 individual medley. Reminder, of course, they don't have the youngsters. They swam it as a heat declared winner event this afternoon. We saw some good performances in that as well. But we will see the top 3 age groups, 15, 16s and 17, 18s going in that. But before that, we have our medalists to go to the podium. Here come the 15-year-olds. Bronze medalist, South Lanarkshire's Lucy Ross. Her coach, Derek McGowan, there, giving her the medal. Oh, you've come all the way to Aberdeen and you get your coach to give you the medal. What's life going on? Amy Malone gets the bronze in the 16 age group from Sterling Swim. And Neve Ritchie from Warrender in the 17-18s. The silver medalists, Irene Stevenson from Staines for the 15-year-olds. Emma Harvey, that was such a good swim there from her in these 16s. And Caitlin Duffy in the 17-18s. And our champions in the 15 age group, Alice Shields, Mulgine Bearsden, Alexi Waller in the 16s, and Caroline McIntosh in the 17, 18-year-olds. So 50 backstroke. I guess maybe was slightly disappointing that we didn't see a Commonwealth Youth Games consideration time there, but some great racing, particularly that Waller versus Harvey Grace.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, perhaps a little bit disappointing, but still nonetheless fantastic swims. Lexi's had a fantastic meet so far, as have a lot of these other girls. It is day 4. You know, that does start to take its toll, especially on the sprint events. So, good swimming.
So 400 IM to finish off on, so this should be good. Very different, of course, from the 50 back. There in lane 0 is Jack Dalgetty of Dundee City Aquatics in the 15-year-old final. Keir Buchanan back to swim some more, South Lanarkshire in 1. Ethan Lindsay of University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Or is he there? Maybe not. East Lothian's Edward Alsop is in 3. 4 is Rory Dixon of North Ayrshire. 5, Andrew Arthur, University of Aberdeen Performance. 6, Ethan Horn of South Lanarkshire. 7, Rory Young, Hartwood Lothian. Callum Hillis is in lane 8 for Carnegie. And Bartek Gaki goes for East Lothian in lane 9. So 2 East Lothian swimmers, but the fastest qualifier is from North Ayrshire, Rory Dixon, 5:00. So he'll certainly want to go under the 5 minutes here. Hopefully he can do that. There is an empty lane in lane 3, so it's lane 2 rather. Ethan Lindsay not present. So I said Rory 5:00.08. Andrew Arthur was second fastest in the heats, 5:01.97, and then Edward also at 5:04.24. The 15-year-olds probably not really used to swimming 400 IMs in a day, so will that be an issue for them?
It's certainly going to be tough. I mean, it would be tough for any swimmer, but these boys train day in, day out. You know, they know exactly how far it is they're going, they know how their bodies are going to cope with that, and hopefully they've really worked hard in that swim down pool to make sure they're flushing everything out of their body and ready to be fresh when it comes to racing tonight.
So those swimmers who are swimming multiple events, that certainly applies to. Good starts there in lane 7, Rory Young of Hearts. Lane 4, Rory Dixon of North Ayrshire. So they are 1 and 2 after the butterfly. 1:06.41 the split for Rory. 1:06.89 for Rory Dixon. So 2 Rorys, in fact, 1 and 2, just to confuse us. Well, things can change considerably from stroke to stroke. So we see the different strengths at play. We saw that in the 200 IM right at the top of the broadcast for the girls. And I should think we'll see that here for the boys in 400, where perhaps it's even more evident. 3 now, all fairly close, halfway through the backstroke. Rory Dixon now has the lead, Andrew Arthur in second, and The early leader, Rory Young, now in third place, just ahead of Ethan Horn. So the two centre lanes, stroke for stroke pretty much, and they're around metre and a half maybe up on Rory Young. Other swimmers not too far away. Ethan Horn in 6, Edward Alsop in 3. But, well, it's looking increasingly like the two in the centre lanes are going to decide this one. Through halfway, 2:23.58. Good transition into breaststroke from Andrew Arthur in lane 5. That certainly gave him a bit of a jump there. So that's something that Rory Dixon now has to work back. Is that the hardest of the switches of strokes from back to breast?
It's one of the newest, so therefore people have had a lot less practice at it. But I mean, as you can see in lane number 5, he executed that brilliantly. Real shame for Rory in lane number 4 because he's had to work really hard up to this point. If you'd have come out level with him in the turn, he'd be probably over a body length ahead at this point.
But Rory Dixon has made it up now as they go through the breaststroke, and he is about 1.5 meters clear, and these two now are quite a long way away from the others who I think will be contesting for the bronze medal. It seems hard to imagine any of them making up the grounds between the two of them. And you can see there the gap. It's about a body length between Rory on the left-hand side of the screen and Andrew on the right with that prominent U of A on his cap. So that's the position. In fact, it's increased a bit as they go into the turn, into freestyle, 3:45.96. The gap is just over 2 seconds, 3:48.19 for Andrew Arthur. Can he do anything about this lead in the freestyle? I can tell you that the third place still is very much Ethan Horn ahead of Edward Alsop and Rory Young, but well, it looks now pretty clear that it's going to be Rory Dixon first and Andrew Arthur second. You can see there Ethan Horn turning in third place, so he's looking in a strong position for the bronze medal as we focus on our leader. So Rory Dixon of North Ayrshire is going to bring this one in, and a good all-round swim. He's been there or thereabouts all the way through, and then as we got into the breaststroke, he started to pull away, and he's cemented that in the freestyle to bring it in 4:52.14. A very nice progression on his heat time of 5:00. So he'll be happy about that, you would think. Second, Andrew Arthur, 4:55.36, and well, it was a storming freestyle from Edward Alsop to come through. He looked as if he was a long way back in 4th or 5th place, but he took the bronze in 5:01.13. But the board has cleared, so again, we need to wait, and unfortunately there's 2 disqualifications there. Doesn't affect the top 3, but there'll be, well, in fact, 1 disqualification, lane 6, because the other was did not start. So unfortunately, Ethan Horn falls foul of the judges. The 1, 2, 3, Rory Dixon, Andrew Arthur, and Edward Alsop. His second bronze of the day. So Rory Dixon really did cement that pretty well in the second half.
Yeah, he was a very happy boy after that swim. You could see him just punching the water there, and plenty more talent in the bag. I think we saw some technical skills that he can fine-tune, hopefully get even further under that 5-minute mark. So
to the 16-year-olds now, and there in lane 0 is the Heart of Midlothian swimmer Angus Rutherford. In lane 1, Keir Edgar for first. In lane 2, Greg Rowe of Carnegie. In lane 3, Andrew McIntosh from South Lanarkshire. In lane 4, Archie Goodburn of Warrender. In lane 5, Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian. In lane 6, Callum Chittleborough of Warrender. In lane 7, Jamie MacDonald, also of Warrender. In lane 8, Finlay Saunders of Heart of Midlothian. And in lane 9, George Cowan from Dundee City Aquatics. So Archie Goodburn, we've seen him to good effect in the 200 freestyle. He's back here in the 400 IM. This, you would think, will be meat and drink for him. The British champion from last summer did a 4:34 down in Sheffield to win that. He did a 4:48 in the heats this morning. You'd expect him to be a lot faster. Probably not 4:34 rested pace, but we'll see how fast he can go. And the question is, can anybody go with him? Well, let's see. We can't give him the gold medal just yet. He's got lots of work to do. Certainly starting nicely in lane 3, Andrew McIntosh. Continuing a good butterfly. We'll see a good breaststroke from him as well. And there's some good tussles in the breaststroke between these two, Archie and Andrew. 1-1, I think it ended up in the 100 and the 200. As the two of them turn pretty much together. Goodburn, in fact, did just get the touch, 28.89. And coming out of that turn, he's maybe got a metre now on Andrew McIntosh. On the other side, Daniel Ferguson. And in the black cap there of Carnegie is Greg Rowe. So they are contesting second and third now behind Goodburn, who's got about a body length in hand now. I think Daniel Ferguson maybe has second and Greg Rowe third as they go into the backstroke. 1:02.17 is the split for Goodburn. A lead of about 1.3, 1.4. Now that picture is slightly misleading because there is still best part of a body length advantage, and you can see there maybe slightly more what that position is. Very, very close for third, as you can see there, between Greg Rowe in the black cap and Andrew McIntosh in the blue, and others pretty close as well. Here Edgar in lane 1, and in lane 6 Callum Chittleborough. Goodburn 1:42.13. His lead now is stretched to over a second and a half. And you would expect him here, Jodie, I think, just to wind this up and build this lead bigger and bigger.
Yeah, he's looking very, very steady at the moment, really controlled at this point in the race. He's not halfway yet, so he knows that. He knows he's still got a lot of this race to go. And as you say, starting to wind things up. He's got a strong breaststroke, so we expect him not to falter on that one either. So maybe he can even push his lead even further.
So as Archie goes through, you see there's a 5-way contest behind him for silver and bronze. Callum Chittleborough has moved up into second, so Warrender sitting 1 and 2 at the moment, ahead of Andrew McIntosh in third. You expect him to move up in the breaststroke section of this medley. But it is still Warrender 1 and 2. Daniel Ferguson has shown some good breaststroke skills in the last year as well, so we'll see whether he can challenge, certainly to get into second spot. But it's still Goodburn who leads the way, 3 metres or so up. You'd expect him to be further up by now, 2:59. He's around 2.5 seconds clear. Still Callum Chittleborough holding second, around about 7/10 up on Andrew McIntosh. And there's Daniel Ferguson in the blue cap, just Andrew McIntosh just out of your picture. He's going in lane 3, there he is now, you can see on the right hand side. So these three all vying for second. They're still around 3-4 metres behind Archie Goodburn, so it's realistically they're not going to challenge him. We saw Archie Goodburn's 200 freestyle skills earlier this evening, so you wouldn't expect him to lose it from here. 3:40.04. He's up by now over 2.5 seconds. Daniel Ferguson has moved into second. Callum Chittleborough third. Andrew McIntosh fourth. And Daniel Ferguson maybe will be the one who's the favourite for the silver medal now as they progress through the freestyle. He is looking pretty strong compared with the other ones. You see those still. It's Goodburn around about 3 metres up. But this is a good swim from Daniel Ferguson. He is not that far behind. He'll be heartened, I think, just how close he is behind Daniel Ferguson, down behind Archie Goodburn rather. He's only a second back. Can he pull off a surprise here? Well, Daniel Ferguson, we talked about him swimming every race tonight, so he's not rested here, but he is giving this a go. And Archie Goodburn suddenly has his work cut out to hold on to this one. Looks like he's going to do it, but what a performance from Daniel Ferguson to push him hard. Archie Goodburn, though, responds to the challenge well, but he had a bit of a fright there. 4:42.05 with Daniel Ferguson behind him. 4:42.80. Andrew McIntosh takes third. 4:48.13. Well, everything looked straightforward for Archie until we got into that last 50 metres.
Yeah, absolutely. He came through from nowhere, it seemed. But no, I was having a chat with his coach at Swim West Lothian earlier on in the evening, Andrew Addison, and he was telling me that they've dubbed him among the coaches the capacity monster. So he knew that he was able to do these back-to-back swims tonight. He was even saying earlier on in the evening that he felt he had something special in there. So we've just seen that.
And there you can see he really was piling it in, banging up his stroke rate to the maximum that he could muster. And in what seemed like it was going to be a victory lap almost for Archie Goodburn, turned into a scramble to get to the wall ahead of Daniel Ferguson. There you can see third place in the end, pretty straightforward for Andrew McIntosh. So it's already our last race of the evening. Boo-hoo. Thomas Balfour of North Lanarkshire is in lane 0 for the 17-18-year-olds. Richard Laird of South Lanarkshire is in 1. Ryan Rexon of First goes in lane 2. Gianni Napolitano of North Lanarkshire is in 3. George Clough of Warrender is in 4. His teammate Fraser Allison goes in lane 5. Alistair McGee goes for South Ayrshire in lane 6. Jonah Walsh of Warrender in 7. Ian Rennie for Dundee City Aquatics is in 8. And Lewis McLeod for Dumfries completes the field in lane 9. So Warrender, the two fastest qualifiers, George Clough and Fraser Allison. So can they pull off a 1-2 here? Gianni Napolitano, the third fastest, goes in 3, and Alistair McGee just behind him in lane 6. And what can this final race of day 4 produce? Will there be a shock? Will there be some real fast stuff? So it is lanes 3 and 4. Gianni Napolitano and George Clough, 28.19 and 28.32 at the first turn. And it does look like George Clough now has just eased himself into the lead. Still, it is Giano, his main challenger. Third place is close. Ryan Rexon, of course, we saw earlier on picking up gold. So he's in lane 2. And then there's 3 others, Fraser Allison, Alistair McGee and Jonah Walsh right there with him. 101.14 is the split at the 100 for George Clough. And he's got a lead of maybe a metre on Gianni Napolitano. George Clough, senior silver squad member. Entry time was 4:30. Did a 4:39 earlier in the heats. So we'll see whether he can get close to that 4:30. You see that backstroke, and that head very level and still. The arms do the work. It's getting very close for second now. Giano being challenged by Alistair McGee in lane 6 as we approach halfway, and George Clough's lead now. Best part of 5 metres. There's red parts of the lane ropes show the 5 metre mark. 2:11.63 at halfway. The breaststroke then probably George's best discipline of the four. So he'll be wanting to make the most of this. The race very much hotting up for silver. As you can see there, 4 swimmers now in a line. Retson, Napolitano, Allison and McGee across the pool. But they're quite a way behind George Clough, 2:49.93. Halfway through the breaststroke, his advantage is over 5 seconds, 2:55.04. Fraser Allison just touching second there, the second red cap of Warrender there on the right of your screen. Well, it's about who's going to get second now, I think. Although we said that with Archie Goodburn, and then he had a bit of a shock in the final 100, but I'll be very surprised if that happens again here. Fraser Allison is in second ahead of Ryan Retson. Ryan Retson will give him a push, I think, in the freestyle, but we'll see how that works out. There's some of the first contingent cheering on Ryan Retson with those maracas there. 3:28.27 then is the split for George. So this now is very much about George versus the clock. Nobody is going to get close to him. Just to keep this concentration going, really keep the pace on when probably the body is starting to feel really tired. Through up to the final turn. And he goes through in 4:01.29, so around about 33 for his first 50 freestyle. So that would suggest something around 4:34 for him, maybe slightly less if he can find somewhere a sprint to pick up the pace down this last length. He really has to try and find something with nobody to drive him along. It is Ryan Retson now holding second ahead of Fraser Allison. That looks how it's going to end as the 1-2-3 as George Clough comes in. He did muster some extra pace down that last length, comes in 4:32.80 to take the gold, our final gold of the evening. Second was Ryan Retson, so he goes back to the podium for a second time, 4:37.61, with Fraser Allison taking third, 4:40.01. Tough to do that out on your own, really just drive it on your own, or does it not make any difference? You're just doing your own race.
I mean, for some people, they thrive on it. You know, putting that distance between them and the rest of the swimmers, you know, they get a buzz off it. They're able to then put in their best performances. But typically, when you can see the other swimmers, when you know where you are in the race, it's much easier to find that extra little bit of motivation. You know, down that final 50 meters, you could see George struggling to kind of kick it on that extra little bit from somewhere, and typically that comes when you've got somebody that you're racing head to head with.
So you saw that urging on from the Warrender coaching and crew and his training partners there, and well, it certainly had an effect because he did pick up the speed down that last 50 meters, and 4:32 when he came in on a season's best from last season of 4:30, so 2 seconds unrested. You would think that he can certainly make a good dip on that in Sheffield in a few weeks' time.
Absolutely, yeah. For all of these guys here, I mean, particularly the older ones who are going to be swimming in a few weeks' time, this is a brilliant platform for them to practice how they're going to swim their race at Sheffield at the trials. So yeah, it's an opportunity for all of them really to put in those final last-minute touches, or equally just really drive in and hone down the plan that they've got in place.
So we've got there the West Lothian Band, as we see some of our orchestra around the pool. Our volunteers as well, all these people who put their all into what makes swimming such a great sport, such passion around there. There are the swimmers getting ready for our final set of presentations. They'll be off to the swim down pool after that as they get ready now to collect their medals. Our final set of medals for day 4. One more day to go after this, of course. As we see our bronze medalist, that's Edward Alsop, second bronze medal of the night for him from East Lothian. In the 16-year-olds, it's Andrew McIntosh of South Lanarkshire and Fraser Allison, bronze medalist in the 17-18s. Of course, young brother Angus will be able to show him a gold medal from tonight, so he'll enjoy that, no doubt. Silver medalist Andrew Arthur, University of Aberdeen performance in the 15s. Daniel Ferguson with that superb final 100 in the 16s, and Ryan Retson, who's last 100 from him as well in the freestyle, takes the 17-18 silver medal. And here are our gold medalists, and it is Rory Dixon of North Ayrshire who takes gold in the 15s, and it's the Warrender show with the older swimmers. Archie Goodburn hanging on there from the Daniel Ferguson Challenge to take gold in the 16s, and that superbly measured swim in the 17-18s from George Clough. 4:32.80 for him is our last medal recipient of the evening. So don't forget, we do have another night's competition for you. Tomorrow it'll be boys 200 IM, girls 200 free, boys 100 free, girls 100 breast, boys 50 back, and girls 50 butterfly. So lots to look forward to there on our final night. You can see the water's still here at Aberdeen Sports Village. All our action is completed. We're done for the day. So Jodie, thanks very much for your company tonight. Really enjoyed the night, and we wish you a very good evening. Don't forget the hashtag Snags2017, but we'll see you again tomorrow evening, half an hour earlier tomorrow, so don't forget that. Tune in early, and we'll see you tomorrow for the final night's competition. But for now, good night.
Exceeding expectations in the delivery of outstanding, best value legal services to businesses, organisations and private individuals. If you want to deal with a different kind of law firm, get in touch now.